You did everything the internet told you to do. You bought the expensive candles, you followed the 10-step morning routine, you spent $40 on an aesthetic journal. And yet, here you are, lying in bed at 11 p.m., heart racing, feeling like you're falling behind on a life you haven't even started yet. Why is it that the more we focus on self-care, the more anxious we seem to become? If you've ever felt like your soul is mentally crowded, even when your schedule is empty, you aren't lazy and you aren't failing. You're experiencing a modern phenomenon where self-care has been hijacked. We've been taught to rent our worth through consumerism rather than building it through spiritual alignment. Today, we're doing a deep dive into the Islamic psychology of the Nafs to uncover why your current routine is burning you out and the forgotten concept that heals Gen Z burnout faster than any manifestation trend ever could. In a world full of noise, we're constantly told that healing is something you buy or a task you complete. For Gen Z, self-care has become another form of performance. We've turned relaxation into a busiest phone, loneliest heart scenario. When your self-care routine becomes a checklist, it stops being a refuge and starts being a source of high-functioning anxiety. You're not actually resting, you're just performing rest for an invisible audience. Here is the psychological truth. Your brain doesn't distinguish between a work deadline and a self-care deadline. If you feel guilty for skipping your 5 a.m. workout or your meditation session, you aren't practicing self-care. You are feeding a self-improvement addiction. This constant pressure creates a state of emotional exhaustion. You are treating your soul like a machine that needs to be optimized rather than a spiritual entity that needs to be nourished. This is where modern psychology often stops, but Islamic psychology begins. The reason your routine isn't working is that it's focusing on the body, but ignoring the nafs. In Islamic tradition, your self isn't just one thing. Most modern self-care focuses on the Nafs Ammara, the commanding self that wants immediate gratification, comfort, and aesthetic pleasures. This is why constant scrolling feels so empty. It's a temporary dopamine hit, but it leaves the heart hungry. If you struggle with overthinking and anxiety, it might actually be a sign of spiritual sensitivity that most people ignore. Your anxiety is often your soul's way of screaming that it's disconnected. When we stop chasing manifestation, which is often just the ego trying to control the future, and start focusing on the nafs, we move from a state of agitation to a state of tawakkul, trust. The goal isn't to manifest a perfect life. It's to heal the internal mechanism that makes you feel not enough, even when you have everything. So, how do we fix it? How do we move from being addicted to being busy to being truly at peace? We have to stop renting worth from external achievements and start building worth from an internal spiritual foundation. Here are 3 shifts you can make today. Shift from optimization to observation. Instead of a 10-step routine, try Muraqaba, mindfulness. For 5 minutes after Salah, sit in silence. No phone, no journal, no to-do. Just observe your thoughts. Recognize that you are not your thoughts. You are the soul observing them. The Friday Reset. There is a reason we are encouraged not to miss Surah Al-Kahf on Fridays. It's a weekly pattern interrupt. It forces you to look at the long term, the afterlife, rather than the short term, your notifications. It's the ultimate Gen Z burnout cure. Healing the mentally crowded mind. Your mind is crowded because you're trying to carry the weight of the future. In Islamic psychology, we learn that the unimaginable mercy of Allah is sufficient for us. True True self-care is the act of sujood, literally letting go of your burdens and putting your head on the ground. It is the only place where being low makes you the highest. If you're feeling lonely, even when everyone is around you, it's not because you need more self-care. It's because your soul is looking for its creator. The next time you feel that surge of anxiety, don't reach for your phone to scroll through healing quotes. Reach for your prayer mat. Stop trying to manifest peace and start submitting to the one who created peace. You are not a project to be finished. You are a soul to be nourished. If this resonated with you, I've put together a playlist of revert stories and people who found this same peace when they were at their lowest. Click here to watch how Islam destroyed their doubt and replaced it with purpose. And don't forget, don't miss your Friday reset. I'll see you in the next one.